there's this narrative that's been painted by Dana White and to some extent MMA fight fans in general that says basically if Kamaru Usman was not around, Colby Covington would probably be the champion. Now, to some extent, I can see what they're saying because out of all the fighters that fought Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington gave him the best fight. But you gotta understand, styles do make fights, and just because somebody's really competitive against a fighter doesn't mean that he will necessarily be the champion if that fighter was not around. Because the fact remains, there's 3-4 fighters in the weight class right now that could potentially give Colby Covington a very good fight. You got Gilbert Burns, you got obviously Khamzat Chimaev is coming up. You got Leon Edwards. You've got who else is there? You've got Vicente Luque. I mean, you got Michael Chiesa. Obviously, Michael Chiesa probably isn't seen as a favourite against Colby Covington. But the fact is, there's several fighters in that weight class that could potentially give Colby Covington a good fight. Even Stephen Wonderboy Thompson to some extent. So the fact is, right, we're talking about him being like the best if Kamaru Usman wasn't around. Don't get it twisted. There's a chance that could be true. But there's also a chance that Gilbert Burns or Leon Edwards or not Kamaru Usman or like one of them fighters would have potentially beaten Colby Covington to win the title. So from that perspective, there's no knowing who would be the actual champion. He don't get it twisted. Colby Covington will definitely be one of the top welterweights if Kamaru Usman was not around. But to say that he would definitely be champion, it's a bit premature and there's no way of knowing. And it's a way for the UFC hype machine to actually promote the fights that they have with each other. Whenever Kamaru Usman and a Colby Covington fight, they always say it's the 1 versus the 2 guy in the world. And they're promoting Colby like, oh, he'll definitely be the champion if Kamaru Usman was not around. But they're only doing that from the machine point of actually promoting a fight between the two of them. Because it's easier to sell a fight when it looks like the top 2 fighters in that weight class are fighting each other. But the fact remains, Colby Covington has not tested himself against the other people in his weight class that could potentially give him a good fight. Vicente Luque versus Colby Covington fight is, in my opinion, a 50-50. A Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington fight, in my opinion, is a 50-50. A Gilbert Burns versus Colby Covington fight, in my opinion, is a 50-50. So these are fights where it could literally go towards Colby Covington actually losing them fights. So from that perspective, I just it's a little bit premature to say that Colby Covington, if Kamaru Usman was not around, would definitely be champion. There's no way of actually knowing for sure. If you wiped out the entire division and beat Vicente Luque, beat Leon Edwards and beat Gilbert Burns, and also beat Michael Chiesa and beat Khamzat Chimaev and beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, then maybe you can say that that he would be the best welterweights if Kamaru Usman was not around. But there's a chance that he wouldn't. And on top of that, like, there could be a chance that he'd be a champion. Don't get it twisted, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's the absolute best. Like, I think with Kamaru Usman, you can clearly see he is the best welterweight. Like, you can clearly see it. With Colby, like, there's certain, like, he fought an old Robbie Lawler. He beat RDA, who was in terms of weight was kind of below his weight class. So there's several top fighters that he could potentially fight that can give him a good fight. So from that perspective, I think it's a bit premature to say it. And like Colby Covington would definitely be like would be a champion if Kamaru Usman wasn't around. There's no way of actually knowing because he's not cleared out the whole division. But anyway, that's just my opinion about the way the UFC machine promotes Colby Covington and just generally fighters in general. I mean, there's no way of actually knowing until they get to that point. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Tell me your opinion and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace out.